Hey guys, it's Talk About It Tuesday. I got a few responses on my Facebook page, and I'm gonna go with the first one. That was from Rochelle, and it was, has parenting changed you, and for the good or for the bad? And of course it has, because any big life change is gonna change you as a person. And I think it's been for the good and the bad, to be honest. For the good, I've definitely learned how to be very selfless, because you kind of have to be when you're putting your all into your children. If you knew me once upon a time, you know that in my youth I was a very heavy drinker. And when I found out I was pregnant with Jasmine, I was kind of coming to the end of like my party days anyways. I was 26. Yeah, I think I was 26. And I was already kind of simmering down, but there was a point where I was really bad, and it got me into some trouble, and it just wasn't good for my life. And getting pregnant kind of forced me into that category of just getting older and maturing and calming down. So I guess like maturity, not to say if you don't have kids you're not mature, but it's just a different level of maturity, that I think parenting brings to you, because you have to be that grown up in the room. You have to be that mature authority figure. And so that's a good change. I judge less. I don't judge people as much at all, because I don't want to be judged. And I also learned that saying my kids will never do this or I'll never do that, or being like, oh, all she needs to do is put him on a schedule and his life will change and he'll never throw a tantrum again, like, that's not true. And there are things that my kids do that I said they would never do. There are things that I do that I said I would never do. I've spanked my kids. I said I would never spank my kids. Things like that. So I definitely think that's a positive change, because I know now that I don't know it all. I actually learned that I know very little. At least that's what kids make me feel like. And then for the bad, I guess probably I worry a lot more, like a lot. Like, I always imagine ways that terrible things could happen to me or my kids or life, especially with everything going on right now. And so that kind of like negative worrying is something that I would say is a negative. I used to kind of just go through life and enjoy it, and I really don't anymore, because I'm too consumed with worry or what the things I have to do. And so I guess that's a negative change, because I'm kind of a little bit more negative and a little bit more intense. I don't know what to say. And I had another negative one. I yell a lot. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, you're kind of a chill person. And I was, but now I just yell all the time. And it makes me feel guilty when people are like, you're such a good mom, I don't know how you do it, you're doing such a good job, because I just feel like saying, like, come to my house for the weekend, and you'll be like, dang, she's crazy. Because they make me feel crazy. But I'm working on it. I'm working on ways to not yell at my kids so much. I think it's definitely necessary. When people say like, oh, you can parent without yelling, I'm like, I don't think that's true. Sometimes you need to, but I think for me it's kind of gotten excessive, because if I haven't slept really well the night before, because my twins are still up all night, and it kind of varies, like sometimes they're up a couple times, sometimes they're up all night. So if they're up all night and I'm really tired, literally everything makes me I'm just like, don't do that, and don't do this, and don't be a kid. But I'm working on it. So that is my answer. Talk About It Tuesday is going to come every Tuesday. So any topics that people comment and I don't cover, I might cover at another time, or Maybe next week nobody will respond, and I'll have to pick one of tonight's comments for next Tuesday, but I'll get more into that tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for those who commented and everybody who watched and participated, and I really appreciate your support. And now I gotta go because I just left, and my mom's out there, so my kids aren't alone, but I didn't say anything. I just went into my room and closed the door and started recording. So alright guys, thank you, good night.